everybody, and welcome to the Frank G. Lumpkin Jr. Center here on the gorgeous campus of Columbus State University. A non-conference matchup, the second to last one of the season for the Lady Cougars tonight, as Columbus State will be taking on Albany State out of the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. I'm Corey Almas. I'll be here with you throughout this entire season. It's our second broadcast this season so far, as Columbus State fell on their first broadcast of the season. That was over this weekend, falling 1-3 to Augusta. They followed that up with a loss against Georgia College the following afternoon. So Columbus State, after starting the season 6-1, have lost their past two matches, and we'll see if they can turn things around this evening. We are just about set for the opening serve, local time, just past 6 p.m. here on the East Coast. Albany State University, coached by Robert Skinner, they come into this match with a 2-6 overall record, but currently they stand atop their conference as they won their opening conference matchup against Payne, sweeping them 3-0. Columbus State currently 0-2 in conference play, 6-3 overall, but as we mentioned, this is a non-conference matchup, so it won't have any bearing on the conference standings. Over the weekend, Columbus State really struggled with their errors, and that was something that head coach Casey Cornett really talked about, the importance of keeping those errors down. Some self-inflicted wounds, and that's what we want to avoid tonight, and getting off to a fast start is vital. They lost the first set in both of those matches, and we'll see if they can turn things around here this evening. Back there to start things off is Soto with the set, and immediately we have a ace right on the board, and that was, as we just talked about, an unforced error that could have been avoided, going right off the fingertips of Rogers. So Albany State gets the first points of this one. On the far side, McCarty off the block and down for a point. So McCarty gets the first kill for the Cougars this evening. McCarty had 9 kills, 10 kills that was, this past weekend. One-to-one our score, with Abby King serving for the Cougars. Blocked at the net, one-on-one block there by Skips, and the Cougars will have a free ball here as they reset. King, Stallworth, blocked at the net, saved by the Cougars. On the far side is Howard, and Cougars will reset again. McCarty, cross-court shot, just out of play. Cross-court shot by Mary McCarty, who's hitting just 164 early in this season. She's 4th all-time, though, in the program in hitting percentage. It's off to a little bit of a slow start. Luckily, that one wasn't an ace there. Little touch over. King, back to McCarty, blocked at the net. 1v1 block there by Hobbs. Eventually it goes down in the back corner for the Cougars. 2-2 early in this one. Savannah Miller, the opposite hitter, sophomore out of Perrysburg, Ohio, walking back to the service line. Cougars, one of the best serving teams in the entire country. In fact, they're #1 in their own conference in service aces per set at 2.06. So one of the keys here in this matchup is Pereira's shot is blocked right there at the net by Hobbs. Albany State coming out hot here with their blocking at the net. A little bit of a surprise. They average just 1.6 blocks per set this season. Sanchez at the service line. Merritt, King, Stallworth. It's a good dig there by Sanchez. Off the fingertips. King, quick set to Stallworth. Dug out once again. And getting past the double block right there is Holmes. 4-2 the early score in this first set. King, our first action that we see of skips, and she gets the block and the kill. 4-3 our scores. Skipper last year had 7 kills in their match against Albany State. These two teams squared off last season for the first time ever. Columbus State won that match 3-0. Tough pass there, and it's saved at the net. Again, Skip's trying to just punch it over, and it goes out of play for Lady Rams point. 5-3 our score in this one. Columbus State trailing by 2 early here in the first set. Cross-court pass to Pereira. And it's a free ball over for the Cougars. Albany State doing a phenomenal job early in this one, blocking at the net. That goes off the fingertips and down for a Pereira kill. Pereira had double-digit kills in back-to-back matches on the 9th and 10th of September, and she came through with a double-double against Georgia College in the Cougars' last match. Sabrina Rogers, one of the best servers in the entire nation, back there at the service line for the Cougars. Trying to just flick it over there was King, and it's saved by the Rams. And a missed hit there for Chapman gives the Cougars their 5th point and ties this one up. Rogers with 19 service aces this season. She's 3rd in the Peach Belt Conference in aces per set and 32nd in the entire country. Great serve right there, as it will be a free ball to the Cougars. Pereira, King, backside set for Megan Frame. Boy, that's one of the moves the Cougars love, and you'll see it time and time again this evening, that backslide set, and Megan Frame comes down with the kill. Frame averaging just over 2 kills a set, hitting just under 300 as well. Another good serve by Rogers. Dug out low by Merritt, but it goes under the net for the Rams. Sixes here in the first set. These two teams going back and forth. Holmes, the junior out of Hampton, Georgia, back there at the service line, and King had no choice there but to try and flick it over to keep it alive. That Howard kill dug out. Soto sends it over. Easy dig there, and they're going to call a violation on the Cougars. (7-6) the score early in this one. Albany State on top. Merritt, King punching it over his Frame, and she gets the kill. Just a little flick there by Megan Frame. She picks up another kill. She led the team in kills, points, and blocks last season. Pereira back at the service line. That's Phillips. Again, the backslide set. Dug out this time and kept alive by the Lady Rams. 1v1 block there by King. Sends it over to Miller. The overpass goes out of play. Savannah Miller coming down with the kill. (8-7), Cougars retake the lead. And a service ace right there. Zoemi Pereira comes up with it. That's her 9th service ace this season, and in their last game against Georgia College, Pereira had 4 aces. 9-7, CSU on top of Albany State. Almost another ace right there. It's going to be a free ball, though, and the Cougars have a chance to pound this one down. The backslide set, just hitting the line there. Cross-court kill for Megan Frame. 10-7, Cougars jump in front by 3. It's their largest lead here in this first set. Again, Cougars have a chance for the kill. There's Savannah Miller coming down with it. 11-7. Cougars on a 4-0 run, and a timeout taken by Coach Skinner. Big run here by the Columbus State Cougars. They've scored 4 straight after everything was tied up at 7 apiece. Lady Cougars hitting well to start this one, hitting .250 with 9 kills already this evening. Leading the way for the Cougars early in this one is Megan Frame. She's got 3 kills, hitting .600, and Savannah Miller, you saw her with that last point there for the Cougars, coming up with her 2nd kill. She's hitting .667. Just a phenomenal start for the Cougars in their attacks. Last season, Columbus State started the year 0-6, but picked up their first win of the season when they took on this Albany State squad. See if they can turn things around here as they will continue on in conference play later on this weekend. They'll be on the road, though, not here in the Lumpkin Center. They'll be at Francis Marion and then at UNC Pembroke as well. 11-7 the score early in this one. Cougars on top of the Lady Rams. Pereira still back there and picks up another ace. Pereira, her 2nd ace this evening, adds to her total, giving her 10 on the year. We talked about this is one of the best serving teams in the entire Peach Belt Conference, and Nation Pereira almost picked up a 3rd in a row. Miller, again, off fingertips, kept alive. Up at the net is Howard, and that one's gone right down at Miller, and the Rams pick up the point, 12-8 the score. So the Rams stopped the bleeding after the Cougars rallied 5 straight to take the commanding lead. They're up 12-8 in this first set. Libero, Thompson, back at the service line. A little bit of a miss-hit there by Frame, and Rogers will just send it right over and caught out of place, and it will be another free ball right back to the Cougars. A little bit of an off-center set there by King. And we've got a longer rally going on here. Miller! Her 3rd kill this evening. Megan Frame walks back to the service line for the Cougars. She had 2 aces in their last match against Georgia College, and boy, the Lady Rams are really struggling returning these serves for the Cougars. A ball that's just bumped right out of play, and that's giving Columbus State a 14-8 lead here in the first set. They're going to call a violation there on the Rams. 15-8. Cougars are opening this one up early here in the first set. Frame still back there at the service line. The only Cougar to start all 30 matches last year. Set up for Howard, down the line, but out of play. 16-8. A much better start for the Cougars this evening compared to their games over this weekend. They've come out with the early fire, catching the Rams off guard. Soto off the block. King, quick set. Stallworth gets dug out. Hitting it over on 2 and jousted at the net and won by the Rams. That's Howard coming down with it for Albany State. Cougars up 7, 16-9. Soto back there. She's one of the leaders on the teams in service errors with 10, but gets that one in cleanly. Savannah Miller blocked at the net, and they're going to call a violation there. Cougars up 17-9 in the first set. King goes back to the service line. 2nd on the team in service aces with 15, and that was a good one there. But the Rams will play it over. That's Hobbs, kept alive. Miller again, blocked at the net and out of play. Another point for Savannah. Miller has been on fire this evening in the first set. 5 kills, hitting .714. King. Overpass, skips right there to knock it down. No stopping that as the ball went straight to Skips, who pounds it down at the net. 19-9, it's a blowout early in this first set. King almost picked up the ace there, and just having to punch it over is Hobbs, and she will pick up the point. Tough break there for the Cougars. (19-10) our score. Savannah Miller feed the hot hand. She keeps it rolling. Miller once again, another kill for the Cougars. (20-10). Miller picks up her 6th kill, and she walks on back to the service line. She has a career-high 15 kills last year against UNC Pembroke. And boy, is she on her way there right now. Kept them alive by the libero. Thompson eventually hit straight into the net by Hobbs, and it's 21-10. Miller, the 5'10" sophomore from Perrysburg, Ohio. She hit -250 in their last game against Georgia College, and wow, is she coming back with a vengeance this evening. Back row, almost got the kill. The overpass straight to Skips. Cross court, Pereira. There's Holmes and dugout, Cougars. Skips, overpass, Stallworth, just out of play. 21-11, Cougars up by 10 in the first set. Miller hitting .667 early in this one. Frame second at .500 for the Cougars. Miller's got 6 kills to go along with 4 digs. King, Stallworth off the double block. It bounces off the tape, and the Rams will reset. Quick set there off the block, and out of play. They're going to give the Rams the point there, 21-12. Cougars, despite starting a little lackadaisical over the weekend in the first set, have normally been very good in first sets, as you see Pereira pick up another kill for the Cougars. They've been outscoring their opponents 207-168 in the first set. Closer score in the second set, but they've outwon set number 2 7-2 compared to just 5-4 in set number 1. A miss hit there, and the Rams are all over the place, and it's 23-12 as the Cougars really open this one up. Take a look at the bench there as Pereira walks over to Coach Cornett back at the service line. Here's the libero Merritt. Ball blocked at the net off the fingertips of Frame, but just tucking it underneath the block are the Rams, 23-13. Back at the service line is Maita Sanchez. Oh, look at rising up right there. The freshman, Polizzi, coming in and getting the kill early. She'll take a seat, and in comes Rogers as the Cougars look to finish this one off. Set point already. Cougars will have 11 of them. It's 24-13, and they put their best server back at the line. Rogers floats one over. Quick set there. Phillips is blocked. Just tapping in over there is Murray. Rogers, King, back set slide, and Frame comes down with the set winning point right there for the Cougars. 25-13, Cougars all over the Lady Rams in set number 1 here at the Lumpkin Center. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Cougar Sports TV. Welcome back to the Lumpkin Center here on the campus of Columbus State University. The Lady Cougars jumped out to the early 1-0 set lead here. Cougars and the Lady Rams here in one of the final 2 non-conference matchups for the Cougars this season. They lost their previous 2 matchups. Those were the 2 opening Peach Belt Conference matches against Augusta and Georgia College last weekend. A great start here, though, in the first set, and one that I'm sure Coach Cornett will be very pleased about. We talked about it last weekend, the slow starts that the Cougars were coming out with to open the Peach Belt Conference. Weren't coming out with any energy, and that was something that really frustrated Coach Cornett. But she'll have nothing but pleasings here after this first set. 25-13, Cougars were all over the Rams. And not that many errors for the Cougars in that one. Had just 5 errors there. Really leading the way, though, for the Cougars was Savannah Miller. She had 6 kills, hitting .667. Megan Frame right behind her with 4 kills, hitting .571. A fast start for Columbus State. And they'll get things started here with King serving it up. And set number 2 is picking up the ace. King, the second leading ace scorer for the Cougars this season, picks up number 16. And we'll see if she can add to that right here. King, another low one. Oh boy, just barely kept alive. And they're going to give it, though, to the Cougars. 2-0 to start set number 2. Abby King starting off hot for the Cougars, off the tape. Oh, just kept alive. Almost another ace. King gets back, setting up Miller. She just had a little bit of a whiff right there. Unable to get her hand all the way over that one. It's 2-1. This time Miller will get another crack at it. It's dug out by Thompson. Near side is Holmes. Gets past the diving Merritt. Off fingertips, 2-2. 2 aces for King, 2 for Pereira, and 1 for Merritt. Cougars have 5 in this one. King quick set, Stallworth. Barely kept alive by Thompson, and they'll free ball it over to Merritt. King behind her, set up, and there was a whistle blown before that. I'm going to call a violation there on the Cougars as Polizzi was coming to crank it down. First lead of set number 2 for the Lady Rams, and they'll add to it, making it 4-2. Howard back at the service line. She leads the team in service errors with 15 this season. Miller again off the block. Unable to dig it out is Soto. Miller picks up her 7th kill this evening. 4-3, Cougars down 1. Pereira takes a seat on the bench. Miller walks back to the service line. Miller sends it over. A low set there by Soto. It's just punched over. Stallworth blocked at the net. Point Lady Rams. Double block there for Albany State. Two blocks for Sanchez. Hobbs and Phillips each have 1. Cross court set, punching it over is Murray. And hitting it straight into the net is Holmes. We haven't gotten to see too much of Melissa Murray, the opposite junior out of Crandall, Texas. She's a junior college transfer from Paris Junior College. She was a second-team all-conference player in 2015, finishing the year with 272 kills. Merritt, back to Murray, off fingertips. It looked like, they're going to call out of play. No touch there. 6-4. Polizzi hits that one. Sailed on her there. 7-4. Rams jumping out to the lead here. Chapman back at the service line for the Lady Rams. Solid serve there. And Frame coming up with the kill. Megan Frame rising above the net. Picking up her 5th kill this evening. 7-5, Cougars down by 2. They took set number 1, 25-13. It was a set of runs as the set was all tied up at 7 apiece before the Cougars reeled off 5 straight. Rogers back there for the Cougars. Float serve. Set by Chapman. Dug out by Miller. Trying to dump kill right there is King, and it bounced right back at her. She's not happy about that one. She had a little bit of an opening there trying to catch Albany State off guard, but she hit it right into the net. Ace there for the Lady Rams. That's Holmes, her 7th ace this season. She's 2nd on the team in service aces. (9-5), Albany State on top, and there's a service error for Holmes, her 5th of the season, as she sailed on that one, 9-6. Back goes Pereira. Pereira does have 2 aces, and it just goes off the tape and back down for a Lady Rams point. Some unforced errors here for the Cougars, and that's something that they continually try to work on throughout the season. A little bit of a mishit there, and blocked at the tape was Miller. 11-6. Albany State in front of Columbus State here in set number 2. Thompson back to serve it. A low serve, and she'll pick up her 4th ace this season. 2 aces here in this second set for Albany State. 12-6. The Rams are doubling up the Cougars. King set for frame down the line. Cougars stop the bleeding thanks to their senior star, Megan Frame. The All-Academic Peach Belt Conference player for the past couple seasons. Howard setting up Soto. Blocked at the net. Good double block there. Rogers, King, cross court. Miller off the block. 12-8. Number 8. That's the 8th kill for Miller. We're only in set number 2. Almost an ace there for Frame. It's a free ball sent over. Rogers, King, Miller lofts it up. Kept alive by a diving Chapman. Chapman can't keep it alive that time. 12-9. Cougars creeping back into this one. 3 straight for Columbus State. Interesting that Coach Cornett is letting these girls play it out. They fell down 12-6. No timeout was called, and they've reeled off 3 straight. Over the double block there was Howard. Kept alive. Miller from the 3-meter line. Now it's just sent over by Chapman. Cougars will have a chance. A dump kill right there. That time it works for Abby King. 12-10. 4 in a row for the Cougars. And Coach Skinner has seen enough. He calls timeout for Albany State. 12-10. The Cougars were down 12-6 early in this second set. But they've reeled off 4 straight points, thanks in large part to the attacking by Miller, Frame, and a beautiful dump kill by Abby King as she picks up her 2nd of the match. Leading the way, as mentioned, Savannah Miller, the sophomore out of Perrysburg, Ohio, with 8 kills already, hitting .375 as we're about halfway through set number 2. Megan Frame, the leader for the Cougars, though, hitting .667. She's got 6 kills to go along with 4 digs. A couple of our girls already on pace towards a possible double-double. You know, the Cougars have only had 4 double-doubles this entire season. 2 of them by Abby King, and the other 2 by Zoemi Barreto Pereira. Closest one there would be Savannah Miller, and that would be her first double-double of her Columbus State career. She's got 8 kills to go along with 5 digs. Creeping up there, something to keep an eye out on. Back at the service line, though, is Megan Frame. 5 service aces this season. Resetting there is Howard, blocked at the net. Double block there by Stallworth and King. 5 in a row for the Cougars. 12-11, they trail by 1 and can tie it up right here. Frame sends it over. Trying to get the dump kill right there was Chapman, and she succeeds. Caught the Cougars off guard, and the Rams finally get a point after a 5-0 run by the Cougars. Soto back at the service line. Pereira, King racing over, and it's just bumped over by Miller. A little tip there by Sanchez, just floating it over. A little teardrop for the Lady Rams, 14-11. Sanchez had 7 kills in their last game, the 3-0 sweep of Payne. She hit .286 that evening. King back set slide. Good block there by the Rams. Sent over by Hobbs. Trying to get the dump kill there, and Sanchez was right there for the block. Sanchez, another block. Almost hit down by Stallworth and kept alive and unable to hit it over the Rams. Cougars win the rally. (14-12). Cougars come up with a scramble point, cutting the lead down to 2. King will be the server. 2 aces tonight. Puts her 2nd on the team with a total of 17 this season. Another great serve, and the overpass right into the net. What a save right there. Jousted at the net. Look at Stallworth making the best of that for the Cougars. 14-13, we're within one. Malaysia Stallworth, the sophomore middle blocker for the Cougars. King sends it over. Another great serve. Hobbs off the tape there and point for the Rams. 15-13, they're up 2. Right into the net goes the serve from Howard. As I mentioned earlier, she leads the team in service errors with 15, and she adds her 16th of the season. 15-14, Cougars within 1. They'll send the star of this match so far, Savannah Miller, back to the service line. Sanchez down the line, but out of play. We're all tied up. Cougars have finally crawled back to a 15-all tie here in set number 2. They're up 1-0 on the set column as they took set number 1, 25-13. What a block there! Double block by Stallworth and Murray for the Cougars, and they take the lead. Stallworth getting the start this evening, and boy, has she come up big for the Cougars early in this one. It's great to see Murray out there as well. Cross court set. Lizzie couldn't come down with the block. 16-all. Stallworth has a total of 3 blocks already in this one. She's leading the way for the Cougars. Right behind her, Abby King with 2. Back at the service line. Maita Sanchez. That's in for an ace. Cougars just turned around right there. That was Merritt and Miller who looked at each other, and they went right in between them before the end line. 17-16, Rams reclaim the lead. King behind. Polizzi is blocked. This time they'll try Murray on the far side, off fingertips and kept alive for the Rams. Holmes comes back. From the 3-meter line, Miller almost picked up the kill there. Will be sent over to King. Merritt setting up Polizzi. Sails that one over everyone. 18-16. Rams in front by 2 here in set number 2. Sanchez still back there at the service line for the Albany State. Sends that one over and barely kept alive. A little bit of a mistimed set there, but Stallworth still keeps it in play. Blocked off fingertips right there, and they're going to call skips for being over the line. 19-16, Albany State in front by 3 here in set number 2. Couple of violation and errors for the Cougars are allowing the Rams to take the lead in this one. King setting it up for Miller from the back row. Another kill for Savannah Miller. 19-17, keep feeding the hot hand. Savannah Miller with 9 kills this evening, 1 away from reaching 10. Merritt sends it over. Holmes, dug out by Merritt. King, back to Skips. Double block at the net, saved by King, and just punched over by Frame. Missed set right there, and the Cougars are going to pick up the point. They're within 1. 19-18, Merritt still back there at the service line. Doesn't have any service aces on the season, but what a performance by her this past weekend. She set the program record for most digs in a match at 31. Block there at the net, a double block. Murray and Frame are there for the Cougars as they tie this one up at 19. Merritt, the all-time leader in the entire program in digs for the Cougars. And, yeah, 31 digs, just an incredible match. Gives her an average of 4.32 digs per set as she hits that serve straight into the net. The unforced error gives Albany State the lead late here in set number 2, 2019. Chapman. Murray gets a crack at it off the fingertips there of Austin and kept alive by the Rams and out of play. 2020 Cougars have knotted this one up. And they'll put their best server back at the service line. The junior, Sabrina Rogers, defensive specialist out of Iowa City, Iowa. 32nd in the entire country in aces per set. Out of order there. Albany State and the Cougars are going to pick up the easy point, 21-20. They take the lead. Rogers. Holmes over the double block, but out of play. Cougar point, 22-20. Rogers still back there. She's got 20 aces this season. A little float serve. The overpass. Rogers to King, cross court. Murray blocked at the net. Huge double block there for the Rams as Phillips was there leading the way. She's got 7 blocks coming into this match, assisted on 3 of them in her last game, and comes down with a big one there, 22-21. King setting up frame! 23-21, Cougars up by 2. Murray takes a seat, in comes Pereira, another fantastic server for the Cougars. She does have 2 aces this evening. 2 more would win it here for the Cougars. Pereira sends it over. Miss hit there, and the Cougars are going to get a free ball. Merritt, King, backslide set. Frame couldn't keep it in. Side the antenna, and it's 23-22. Got a close one here in set number 2. Cougars took set number 1, 25-13. No doubt about the winner in that one, but the Rams have bounced back here in set number 2. There's no stopping Megan Frame coming down the pipe. 24-22. Set point for the Cougars. They'll have 2 of them here, and Megan Frame will be at the service line. Timeout taken for Albany State as Coach Skinner will try and talk things over and let his girls know where they need to be as Megan Frame will be back at the service line. Frame with 5 service aces coming into this match. She's hitting .284 this season, but tonight putting up an incredible performance. 8 kills, hitting .538, leading the way for the Cougars. Right next to her is Savannah Miller. We've mentioned her name time and time again, especially in that first set. She's got 9 kills, hitting .350. For Albany State, it's been a bit of a struggle, and it's been that way throughout the entire season. They came into this match with an attack percentage of just .071. So a very low attacking percentage for the Rams, and interesting enough, it fits right into the strength of the Cougars as they're allowing their opponents to hit barely over 100 at 120 coming into this one. So not a good combination. Strength on weakness there. And the Cougars have a chance to take a commanding 2-0 set lead here before the halftime break. Frame will be at the service line. 2 set points here. Barely tipped over there by Howard. Kept alive, and it goes to Rogers. King, Miller, taps it over. Cross court set, they're gonna call a violation there. Rams won't even have a chance at the attack. Cougars win set number 2, 25-22, and they take a commanding 2-0 set lead into the halftime break. Cougars all over the Rams in set number 1, 25-13. A much closer set there in the second set, 25-22. We'll take a break here. You're watching Cougar Sports TV here in the Lumpkin Center. I'm Corey Aldis. Columbus State up 2-0 on Albany State. Welcome back to the Lumpkin Center here on the campus of Columbus State University. 2-0. Cougars on top of the Rams as we enter set number 3. Halftime break is over, and the Cougars came out attacking in set number 1. Took it 25-13 and followed up with a 25-22 set 2 victory. Leading the way for the Cougars, Savannah Miller and Megan Frame. As far as kills go, Miller with 9, Frame with 8. Frame hitting .538 and Miller hitting .333 through 2 sets. Megan Frame led the team in kills last year and one of the top Cougars as far as hitting percentage goes, hitting .284 this season, and obviously tonight will be a nice little bump in her hitting percentage. Overall, Cougars out hitting Albany State 171 to .029, so Albany State even below their normal average of .071. Just it's been a little bit of a rough go around for the Lady Rams this evening. That's all right. They have a chance to reset here. 0's up on the scoreboard as we get set number 3 underway. And Stallworth is just going to teardrop it over for the Cougars as they take the opening point. 6 service aces for the Cougars as well tonight. Go along with 42 digs. Well above their average as far as digs per set go, and they've been very well at that all season long, averaging 16.1 digs per set. Miss hit there, and an ace picked up by Abby King. Who else? Add on another ace for King. That's her 3rd ace tonight, giving her 18 on the season, just behind Rogers, who's at 20. King creeping up for the service lead for the Cougars. 2-0 the score. It's saved there by Hobbs, but eventually goes to Albany State. Miller, another kill for the Cougars. Miller picking up her 10th kill this evening. Miller's hit the double-digit mark. Her career high 15 kills last year versus UNC Pembroke. Cougars up 3-1 early in set number 3. On the far side, getting the kill is Holmes, the junior out of Hampton, Georgia. Sanchez back at the service line. Leader in aces for the Rams with 8 this season. Murray coming down, a junior college transfer. Four-2 Cougars in front on this one. Good dig there and a save by King. Trying to kill it from the back row. There was Miller. Boy, she's been feeling it this evening, but unable to come down with the kill. 4-3. Cougars still in front. Chapman will go back to the service line. Kept alive by the Cougars. Miller well behind the 3-meter line. Out of play right there as Phillips tried to knock it down for the kill. 7th in her conference at hitting percentage. Hitting .239 this season is Phillips, but unable to come down with the kill there. On the far side, Soto. King to no one. A little bit of a miscommunication there. First time we've seen Ashley Smith into the match for the Cougars. She'll take a seat immediately, and back in comes Pereira. 5-4, Cougars in front. Murray softly hits that one over. Coming in from the back row is Holmes. kept alive. King to Miller. Down the middle. Dug out by Holmes. On the near side, or far side, that was Howard who couldn't come down with the kill. (6-4), Cougars in front of the Rams here in set number 3. Cougars up 2-0. It was a blowout in set number 1, 25-13. Second set a lot closer as the Cougars had a number of unforced errors in that second set, allowing it to be a little bit closer, 25-22. Pereira. Phillips, dug out by Pereira. King to Miller, trying to go cross court there, and overpass sent right back to the Cougars. Backslide set down the line, and just out of play. Looked like that might have nicked the line on the far side there. They're going to give it to the Rams. 6-5. Cougar lead down to 1. But right into the net goes the libero. Thompson for the Rams. Frame will be at the service line, off the tape and off the arm of Sanchez, and Frame will pick up the ace. 7 service aces for the Cougars this evening. That's Frame's first. Frame, another great serve. Quick set there, blocked at the net was Sanchez, and bouncing around, finally into the net, off the hands of Howard. 9-5, Cougars extend their lead here in set number 3-4. Overpass on the service there, and King just dumps it down for the Cougars. Easy point there for Columbus State, and a timeout taken by Coach Skinner. 10-5. Cougars jumping out to the early lead here. You're watching Cougar Sports TV. Back here at the Lumpkin Center in set number 3, Columbus State on top of Albany State, 10-5, and they're up 2-0. Frame still back at the service line. Another fantastic serve from her. Just sending over the free ball there is Howard. Keen, quick set, Stallworth off fingertips there in the back row from Holmes. 11-5, Cougars in front. A fast start here to set number 3. Cougars extending their lead to 6. Oh, they're going to call a violation there on Albany State. 12-5. Cougars in front in this one. Frame yet again. Another great serve. Almost an ace there. Barely kept alive. Blocked at the net by Stallworth. A solo block there. That one hit over the double block. King, cross court. Miller, the hot hand, down the line. Another kill for the sophomore. Savannah Miller, 10 kills this evening, leading the way for the Cougars. Off the hands there of Pereira and out of play. It's 13-6. We lost sight of our scoreboard little bit of a technical difficulty there. Don't worry, we'll keep you up to date on the score. If you've been watching, it's 2-0. Columbus State in front, and right now they're ahead 13-6 here in set number 3. Back at the service line is Soto, and she picks up the ace for Albany State. (13-7). That's the second ace this evening for Soto, her 5th on the year. Soto floats it over to Pereira. King, back set slide, blocked at the net, but out of play. Point Cougars, 14-7. Have a substitution as Ashley Smith comes back into the match for Columbus State. Great serve by King. She's going to pick up the ace there as the Rams cannot hang on to it. Cougars have come out hot here from the service line, and that was one of the keys we talked about before this match. 17th in the entire nation in aces per set, averaging 2.06. Double block there for the Cougars, and another point. Cougars have opened it up here in set number 3. They're on top 16-7. If you take that average of 2 aces per set, right now we're in set number 3, so they should have at least 6 if they're on pace. They're well ahead of that right now with a total of 10 aces tonight. Merritt, King, quick set, Stallworth! Right down the pipe goes Malaysia Stallworth, the sophomore out of Loganville, Georgia. She was 2nd on the team with 10 solo blocks last year, averaged about 1.44 kills per set. The overpass there, Stallworth almost picked up another kill, and it's sent over on the free ball. Merritt behind her, Miller off fingertips and kept alive by Holmes. Blocked at the net, a 1v1 block, Savannah Miller coming up huge yet again. Her 3rd block this evening and her 1st solo block. Oh, almost an ace there, and picking it up is King. Give it to her. Wow, what a serve there from Abby King, the sophomore from Ann Arbor, Michigan. 19-7 the score here in this one. And they're going to bring in Whitney Coles, the freshman, to go back to the service line. Abby King's night might be done. She's got 5 aces this evening. First time we've seen Whitney Coles tonight. She didn't play in their last game, the loss against Georgia College here at the Lumpkin Center. And Coles sends it straight underneath the net for a service error. 19-8 the score here in set number 3. Cougars on top 2-0. The junior Howard back at the service line for the Rams. Coles to Stallworth, tucks it underneath the double block there. 20-8, Cougars in front. Savannah Miller leading the way for the Cougars tonight with 11 kills. No double-double. She's got just 6 digs. Megan Frame has 8 kills to go along with 5 digs. But 5 aces for Abby King. Got 30 assists and 7 digs, along with 3 kills. It's an all-around fantastic performance for King. Coles setting up on the far side, Ashley Smith. 21-8, Cougars in front here, all over the Rams in set number 3. And Miller goes back to the service line. Miller, one of the stars here this evening, hitting .286 to go along with 11 kills. I did mention that her career high is 15 kills last year against UNC Pembroke. Miller keeps it alive, and it's hit over by Murray. Set up for Hobbs, and Coles can't control it for the Cougars. Point goes to the Rams, 21-9. Coles, a couple of errors here since she's coming to the match. See if she can try and turn things around. The freshman out of Flowery Branch, Georgia. She's got a chance to set up the Cougars here, and a little bit of a miscommunication there as it's hit over by Merritt. Coles recollects, cross court, set for Murray. Kept alive by Austin. Off fingertips there. Hobbs can't come down with the kill. Neither can Austin. Still kept alive. Eventually tucking it underneath the block there is Ashley Smith. 22-9. Cougars in front here in set number 3 as they try and sweep their way to a non-conference victory. Merritt walking back to the service line. Merritt sending it over. Soto. And that one's well hit over everything by the sophomore Hobbs. 23-9. Cougars inching closer to picking up their 7th victory this season. It would put them at 7-3 on the year. Already surpassing last year's win total. They finished 5-25 last season. Cougars are looking to pick up their 12th non-conference win here. 11-2 in their last 13, and it's 23-10. Back at the service line is Chapman trying to keep things alive for the Rams. It's 23-10. And Miller, it's the second time that she's looked at her hand tonight after she's mishit a kill there. Just a little too excited coming in from the back row there was Miller. It's all right, 23-11. Setting up Murray, and it's hit back. Didn't even go over there. Just went off the tape. Point goes to Albany State. 23-12 here in set number 3. That one sails over everything. A service error by Chapman. Cougars have set point and match point. They'll have 12 of them here as they're up 24-12. They've doubled up the Rams here in set number 3. The honors go to Smith. On the far side, Soto into the block. Hit down at the net. Cougars taking this match a clean 3-0 sweep. 25-12 in set number 3. What a victory for Columbus State here in their second to last non-conference match of the season. They took set number 1, 25-13. A few unforced errors followed up in set number 2 as it was much closer, a 25-22 Columbus State victory. And then set number 3, just dominating fashion from start to finish, 25-12. Cougars sweep this one here in the Lumpkin Center. They finished hitting 198, and they gave up a 0 hitting percentage to Albany State. Just a very impressive defensive performance for the Cougars. 11 service aces means they will improve on their aces per set, meaning they will continue to jump up in the rankings. Already 17th in the nation coming into this match in service aces per set. Leading the way in that category was Abby King, who had 5 aces, 2 for Fran and 2 for Prayer. The kill leaders, Savannah Miller leading the way for the Cougars. She had 11 kills, and Megan Frame finished with 8. That'll wrap things up here at the Lumpkin Center. We appreciate y'all joining us here as we watch the Cougars sweep Albany State 3-0. We'll be back in action here not until September 30th, so mark your calendars. 10 days from now, next 2 Tuesdays from now, they'll be playing Flagler, a conference matchup here at the Lumpkin Center. Their next 3 matches will be against conference foes, but all on the road. They've got Francis Marion Friday night, then UNC Pembroke Saturday afternoon, followed up by Montevallo next Tuesday, a week from this evening. For everyone here at the Lumpkin Center, I'm Corey Aldis. Your final here, Columbus State 3-0 sweep over Albany State. They improved to 7-3 on the season. We will see y'all September 30th when our Cougars take on Flagler.